Hi, welcome to Meet the Artist. This program is brought to you by Hedberg Public Library and JATV Media Services. I'm your host, Teresa Nguyen. Meet the Artist features various local artists whose work will be on display in monthly exhibits at Hedberg Public Library. In the studio today, we have an amazingly talented local artist, Sandi Walton, featuring her art at Hedberg Public Library in the month of September. Welcome to the studio, Sandi.
Thank you.
So tell me how long you've been doing art, and was there someone in your early years that boosted your confidence?
I've been drawing, creating literally all my life. I was digging through some books recently and came across a copy of Cat in the Hat that I had artistically embellished.
Oh.
Yes, it was crayon scribbles, but you know.
Nice.
I can't remember not creating. My grandparents had pictures on the walls of horses that I drew. Mostly it was drawings. I didn't paint much, especially when I was younger, but I can't remember not creating.
Oh, that's so cool. And so that was an early piece, or was there something after that that you thought, well, maybe this is pretty special?
The first piece that I was really just super proud of, because it was, I do a lot of look at this picture and draw it.
Right.
And the first piece that I ever did that was entirely out of my own head was in college for a drawing class, and it was looking down on a room and everything was just very precisely drawn, and it actually reminds me a bit of some of the pieces that I've done here.
Oh, cool. Very cool. So then, were you taking art classes along the way?
Well, it's funny because, you know, we had classes in school, in junior high and grade school. In high school, I did not take any art classes, and I had it in my head that I was going to be a veterinarian, and so I was taking ag and math and science. But then I took a couple of drawing classes in college, and then really nothing since then. I look things up online, figure out how to do it myself.
Self-taught, and that in itself is really incredible. So are there certain mediums that you prefer, or what sort of types of art do you explore?
Mostly a pen in my hand. Pen, pencil. I love working in pencil. I like this level of control as opposed to something more freeform. With these pieces, it still is this something in my hand, using dotting tools and things like that. So while it is acrylic, mostly I like things, media where I have extreme control over it.
Very cool. I love your work. So as an artist, was there someone who has inspired you, whether someone you know or someone locally or perhaps someone more famous? I mean, I enjoy looking at great art, but there hasn't been anything that I've gone, oh, I want to try something. This has inspired me to try something. I'll be honest, Pinterest is my friend. A lot of the work that I do is process art. So it's about creating it and not about having a creation. It's kind of almost more like a craft.
Yes, yeah. All of the things that I do are very meditative. There isn't an end result in mind when I do it. I do not have any idea what these are going to look like when I start. So I enjoy kind of scrolling around through Pinterest and seeing what other process artists do, and then take off on what they're doing.
Love that. And I've noticed, especially with some of your work that has color, you're drawn to the bright colors. Is there a favorite color palette?
Well, you'll see a few rainbows. This piece and then a couple of them that I have in the library. But there is not a color palette that I do not love. In addition to this type of creativity, I'm also a quilter. And so choosing the fabrics is one of my favorite things. I love all color. Nobody gets, which is hilarious. I'm wearing black today, but I love all color. I love, any way that I can combine colors makes me happy.
We dress in our moods sometimes, don't we?
Yeah.
So as far as the quilts go, are any of those going to be a part of your display?
No.
All of it is art. Your
yes.
paper or
yes,
canvas.
I have a couple of pieces similar to these. These are tiny versions.
Let's talk about them. Let's talk about these. How do you create these patterns? Is it already existing on your canvas, or are you just sort of freehand?
These both are completely freehand. At most, I have a silicone template that I can lay down. It's about that big.
Okay.
And it's got the center marked and kind of dots where the circles would be. And I'll mark that with pencil. Then it's a matter of dipping my tool, whatever that might be, into paint and touching it onto the surface.
And what creates a larger circle from a smaller circle?
So the largest circles are created with dowels or plastic dowels. So dowels of different sizes. Then the smaller dots, so you'll see like the arcing purple here, the red there, not purple, gray, or the red there. When you use a dotting tool, and it's dotting tools that you'll find originally for nail art, but now you can buy on all sorts of different places these dotting tools. You can make your own with a pencil, with an eraser, and sticking a pin that has a ball head on it. Stick that in the eraser so you've got something to hold on to. You dip the ball into the paint, and then it's just dot, 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 dot. And as each progressive dot goes, you get a smaller amount of paint on it.
True, that's true.
So that's how those are created.
Beautiful, just absolutely beautiful. And then you just kind of decide your colors as you go.
Yep. And it's not unusual for me to mix so the colors are constantly changing. I get low on the amount of paint that I have in my palette, so I add some more of another color, and now it's slightly different. And and
I love that.
Again, these are very small versions compared to what I have on display in the library. I have one that is about this wide and about this high, and it's completely covered. It's not a single mandala like this. They're called dot mandalas. It's here's a circle, and here's another one that's kind of interlinking with it, and another and another and another. So the whole canvas is covered.
Very cool. And do you have other types of art? So here is something with ink.
So that is a marker. It's a permanent, not permanent marker in the sense like a Sharpie, but the artist's markers for scrapbooking or that sort of thing. And it's called, well, it's a variation on something called neurographic art. There's a whole official process with rules and everything. I don't follow rules. I saw somebody do it and said I could do that. And in this case, the circles are all created by tracing templates, yogurt lids to, I have some plastic templates that I bought at an art store, so you're tracing on the inside.
These wider, more diamond-shaped things, do they happen sort of naturally?
Well, any place that the lines intersect, you then go back and you kind of color in that area. So any sharp V's become rounded off U's and then colored in.
I feel like I'm in a psychology test. What do you see? Because I see a bunch of numbers in here. And I also see some cartoon characters like a Mickey Mouse type. I don't know. My brain's going all over the place. I love that.
I'm very literal. I'm looking at that and seeing bubbles.
It's, my brain, I think it's fun to look at because everyone's going to see something different in here. And over here.
So this actually starts with watercolor. And I know nothing about painting with watercolor.
I wouldn't say that. First off.
Well, what I did was just put watercolor on the paper.
Sure.
Started with the watercolor, where it went,
But
and
different
then different colors and let them
shades.
blend, and what it did. And then after it was completely dry, I went back with the same markers that I used there, and kind of traced anything that I saw in that watercolor. So I think it ends up looking like a map, as you had commented.
It does. It looks a bit like the world in your interpretation of the world.
Yes, yeah. You asked about color palettes. Like I said, you'll see a lot of rainbows, and so this was fun. I think this was probably the first one of this style that I did.
Fantastic.
But again, it's all about the process.
Sure.
So process art for me, it's very relaxing. It started out as a way to kind of calm my brain when I was dealing with anxiety.
Sure.
And it was remarkably useful.
Very good.
I could just let it all go, and my brain went quiet, and I have stacks and stacks of these at home. So.
Oh, awesome. Wow. So do you have advice then for someone new who wants to, a new artist who wants to try either your the dot mandala or some ink or watercolor or any kind of process of art? What would your advice be? Where do they begin?
I would say start with whatever you have on hand. If you have certain tools, just go for it and play with them. The neurographic art with the pens is probably the cheapest place to start if finances are a concern. On up to, just go ahead and try, play with it. Don't be afraid to check out Pinterest and watch videos and that sort of thing. See what you see and then riff on your own.
Yeah. So now you've done some public art as well. And I know because I saw your work and I loved it. And tell us about how that all occurred.
Well, when I think of the public art that I've done, there are two areas. There is the piano that was created during Art Infusion a couple of years ago. And I kind of stumbled into that. Art Infusion is an event in September, we just had it, that the organization I work for, the Janesville Area Convention and Visitors Bureau, puts on. And while some people were working on it and they're talking about, who are we going to have do? We hadn't yet had some responses for doing the piano. And walking past, I heard something about art, and I'm like, art?
Yeah.
And stopped in, and they said, yeah, go ahead, you can apply. Because I hadn't at that point, thinking it wouldn't, being that I worked for. And they said that was fine, and I turned in my little application and my drawing, and they liked it. And
awesome.
It was excruciating to do.
Why is that?
Literally lying on the floor of in Old Town Mall, painting all the way down to the bottom of the piano. At one point, somebody walked in, and I'm sprawled on the floor. And he started asking questions, not about painting or anything, but do you know where such and such is located? And I'm going, yeah, it's over there. I'm so glad I did it. It was so much fun.
Great.
Somebody later asked me if I'd be interested in painting a piano for them, and I said, heck no.
Oh, okay.
It was a lot of work. The other public art that I've done is at Rotary Botanical Gardens, and I've participated in their garden art project for years. Probably 6 or 7 years ago was when I did my first dot mandalas, and it was for a project there. Covered a hummingbird that big.
I think I remember that one.
Yeah. And there's a sunflower there now.
And then that was auctioned off.
They're auctioned off, yeah. I think it's the auction this year is September 25th.
Coming soon.
Coming soon, yes.
So how did you choose which pieces you would bring to Hedberg? Did you decide on a variety then?
Well, the dot mandalas are very time consuming, especially when I went to the larger pieces. So basically, I picked 4, I think, of those that were done.
Wonderful.
The rest of it, as I said, I have a stack, and when I say I have a stack, it's probably 3 inches deep of just random drawings. So they need to be framed, unlike the ones that are here. They needed to be framed. Frame is expensive.
It is.
So I went to various thrift shops and purchased frames, and then matched whatever I could get to put in the frame that fit. So a lot of the choosing was less about which pieces I loved the most.
And more about what fit the frame.
And more about what fit the frame.
That's so great.
I did end up redrawing one that I loved but didn't have a frame for, so I redid a version of it.
Wow, what a skill. But it's amazing, all the different types of art you're able to do and that you're bringing it here for everyone to see. Are you excited?
I am so excited. I'm a little nervous because this is, you know, I haven't put my art out for where my name is necessarily attached to it. Yeah, it's a little awkward, but I'm happy. I'm very happy about it.
Well, so are we. And thank you for coming in today and allowing our viewers to get a sneak peek of your beautiful work and to get to know the person behind the art. We appreciate that.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We invite the public to come to visit the library this month to check out Sandi Walton's beautiful art exhibit in the fireplace room, right?
Yes.
And thank you all for joining me today. Please check out this program on JATV Media Services, Charter Cable Channel 994. You can also find it on JATV's YouTube channel. Remember, don't wait for another day. Go out and make some wild, whimsical, wonderful art. I'm your host, Teresa Nguyen. I'll see you next time on Meet the Artist.